Hey there, geeks! Welcome back to part 2 of our Wizard Mega Haul video. As I told you before, I bought a big Longbox full of random comics, and a lot of those awesome Wizard pieces were in our last video, so if you haven't watched part 1, go back and check that out. But now I'm going to show you what's in the rest of the box. First thing I wanted to bring up, though, they actually had some fun dividers in there from like 90s comics. So like Purgatory, what else we got here? Strike Force and Savage Dragon and things like that. So came with some separators. That's always nice. But let's check out the first run here. Okay, so we got a whole bunch of Marvel comics. Okay, so first up, there were a couple different random issues of Runaways, which is a series I never read, but I did actually watch that Hulu live action adaptation, which was kind of cool. Now J2, I've actually been collecting these, so to get another one of these issues is fun. Now, more recently on the podcast, we've been covering Heroes Reborn, so there have been some issues of the Invincible Iron Man from that era. Got another one here, looking good, looking good. So it's kind of fun to have the physical copies in hand, working with that. Look at this, though. See Nick in 3D. Oh, Nicktoons, huh? Now, the other thing that was cool is there was a run of X-Men comics going from issue 63 here, and then it just kept going. 64, 65, okay? So this is definitely an era of X-Men I'm less familiar with. But to get a full run, because it just kept going here, was actually pretty nice, because I'm happy to get an inside look. But look at this, okay? The late Dustin Diamond as Super Screech talking about TNBC on Saturday mornings. Love it. I love that so much. But yeah, here we go. You probably recognize some of these. I'm assuming a lot of you were picking these up back in the day. Ooh, look at this in the back. Stratego, but in a comic book format. Is that... I don't know. I was going to say that art style looked like it might have been Ryan Dunleavy or somebody like that, but no. Now here's Age of Apocalypse X and Unlimited, which is, I don't know, the back cover is ripped off, so it's not in great shape there. A copy of X-Men Legacy. Now check out this. This is Forge and Cable 95. I don't know what this is. I guess just a team-up book, a one-shot, I'm going to assume. Now here's a random issue of X-Force. Fun fact, I have this in the poly bag that I picked up at one point, so copy to read, copy to keep. Here's the Generation X 96. Got a nice wraparound cover going on there. Okay, now just getting back to some classic Jim Lee X-Men. We are covering Jim Lee in our special Jim Lee event. There's some Will Spartacio, right? And so if you have not signed up yet to be part of our Jim Lee Tribute Zoom event, there's still time. The clock's ticking, but you can get in there. All right, now look at this one. An Atlantis Attacks issue of X-Men. I have a lot of the Atlantis Attacks tie-ins, but I did not have that one. So again, and here's another one here with the Evolutionary War. So some classic 80s X-Men there. There's also some Excalibur in the mix here. Where's the rest of the, yeah. So there's that. Excalibur always had that kind of fun, cartoony spirit to it, which I appreciated. So going here, there's also Deadly Foes of Spider-Man. This one's in rough shape. It's barely hanging on here, but check this out. Okay, so Wolverine number 50, right? This is a big one that a lot of us picked up back in the day. Mine had this corner ripped off because it's super hard to keep this in good shape. This one itself actually does have a big crease in it, but what are you going to do? They didn't bag and board it, and that is what happens. That's why we're always reminding you at the end of every episode. This is another one. This is an issue of Fantastic Four, but it's taped back together. So whoever was reading these was not taking care of them, but they wanted to preserve them. So that's good news. Here's a West Coast Avengers issue. Got a little Wonder Man going on there. This one brought a smile to my face. Yes, Super Pro! Already have the issue, but I'll take as many as I can get, because that was just a moment in time, wasn't it? How about this? Wolfpack number 1. Wolfpack, don't know what that story was about. Don't know if anybody has fond remembrances. Did they ever bring them back? Now, this one I actually grabbed specifically out of one of the other boxes because it was a Sam Keith cover. The inside doesn't have any Sam Keith art. It's like a random Hulk story with a little bit of Spider-Man, a little bit of X-Men in it. And then it has an all-new X-Men story in the back that I think is meant to pick up after their cameo, from what I could tell. I didn't read it all the way, though. I did pick up an issue of Thundercats that was in there also, which was fun. Now, the other thing in this box that I was very excited about, aside from the Wizard, was there were a bunch of the official handbook of the Marvel Universe issues. I just have a couple that I've collected, when I was younger, but it's really fun to read through these, especially like the deluxe editions, right? Of course, the wraparound covers. Hey, Man-Thing! There he is. How you doing, Ted? All right, we got some of this. Actually, that is a pretty cool Venom. All right, let's see what else we got here. Now there's Black Costume Spider-Man. Okay, and last one here. Pretty cool. Little Valkyrie running through the Watcher. Okay, so that's all for the Marvel stuff. Let's get into DC. Take it through here. Okay. Because I am less of a DC guy, some of the stuff was kind of surprising to me. So this one here, this little Superman mini comic, it looks like it came with it packed into a DVD or something like that. I don't know. Maybe it came in a cereal box. So if you recognize it, leave a comment below. This other thing here, though, the Young All-Stars, whoever was the original owner of this collection, loved the Young All-Stars because there is a ton, that one actually has several issues packed into it, but it's just all Young All-Stars, so maybe I'll learn to love it, I don't know. I feel like we brought them up once when we were researching some character in the middle of a show, and it said, oh, they were part of Young All-Stars, whatever that is. We didn't know at the time, but yeah, so much Young All-Stars. I don't think it quite matched up to the Legion or Titans or any of that, but I mean, you want it, we got it. Young All-Stars galore. All right, this was an interesting one. This Batman Two-Face, kind of a prestige format thing, but then there's this on the other side. So I guess it was just like a flip book, yeah, where you get a classic Silver Age story and then a newer story by Mike W. Barr. This was some interesting art. Is that Ed McGuinness? Is that who I'm seeing there as the artist? Let me see. I don't see. What the? Oh, yeah, Ed McGuinness. Jeff Loeb, Ed McGuinness. You guys knew that. I just had to confirm. But there was a couple issues of a little bit of Wonder Woman was out of the picture for a while, and then Artemis took over, and then she gets her own book with Mike Diodato Jr. art. I think we'll take that. Actually, on the back here, though, this is cool. Look at this. So, an ad for popsicles and Eskimo pies with Batman, the animated series, and then Earthworm Jim. Yeah! Earthworm Jim, baby. All right. Here we go. A little bit more Superman fighting Doomsday again. This is some pretty cool stuff. I know we're all excited about the 30th anniversary of that storyline, but and it comes with some little insert there. The first issue of The Spectre from the 80s, not the 90s run. Or unless it was, yeah, because that was the Doug Mensch, Gene Colan. Okay, there we go. Now, this is some stuff I didn't recognize. This is DC Comics, the New 52, like a free primer comic. And then it starts going into all this countdown stuff. So look, so there's 51, 48. They didn't have all of them, okay? 42. But they had a lot of them, 38. Now, I'm sure if Michael were here, he would tell me all about this. He would explain, oh yeah, there's a countdown every week because it jumps to 15, then to 7. So somebody wasn't keeping up entirely with what was going on, right? But now we get 52 week 1. So do I start reading this and then I go to the other ones and count down? Or was it counting up? Guys, I wasn't paying attention to the 52 event, the weekly stuff. So, but now, I mean, when we get to that in the timeline, I'm excited to actually have a frame of reference to be able to look at what they were doing. I remember the reports in Wizard saying it was so-so, that it maybe started out strong but didn't last, didn't fulfill the promise of what it could have been. But I mean, just look at all this 52 stuff. Like, this is week 10, when we get into week 11, so it just keeps going and going. So maybe some of these were favorite issues, and you guys can tell me, oh wait, that one's good, that one's good. So we'll find out. But again, just as a frame of reference for me, who was not paying attention at the time, that is cool. All right, so I think that's going to do it for part 2. Come back for part 3, because as you can see, we got a whole bunch more to go through here. And there's some Valiant comics, there's some Image comics, there's a lot of random stuff in there. So, join us, won't you, for part 3? And then also keep an eye out here on the channel for any other fun we might bring in your way. So subscribe. If you're not connected, then get connected. And until next time, keep your books bagged and boarded.